Hello, and welcome back to the Aslan Health Podcast. I'm Dr. Mike Hauman. Today, we begin a new series on a universal and essential topic that is so often neglected and trivialized. I find that most people do not realize the extent to which their health depends on it, both in quality and quantity. If you were to ask me, Doc, what's the one thing that I can do today to improve my overall health and wellness? Just pick one priority for my well-being, one item, a God-ordained, universal, non-negotiable, necessary essential for vitality. What would it be? My friend, it is simply sleep. In this Reveal episode, we will discuss what happens when we sleep, and what sleep does for our body, why it matters, and what it costs you when it's not a priority in your daily wellness plan. Because many people live as though sleep is optional or an unfortunate nuisance. They treat it like an unwelcome killjoy that terminates an otherwise productive, wonderful day. In our culture, many people wear exhaustion like a medal of honor, a proof of productivity. They say things like, well, I'll just sleep when I'm dead, while feeling half dead already. My friend, sleep is not a luxury to be enjoyed by underachievers and lazy teenagers. It is God's gracious, ubiquitous provision for our well-being, repair, recovery, and daily restoration. So today, let's reveal the truth. What happens when we sleep? Why does it matter so much? And what are the consequences when we ignore the way that we were made? So, don't fall asleep on me now. Let's go. I want to begin today with an image. Imagine that every evening after the lights go out, an organized, skilled, professional nighttime restoration crew quietly enters your workplace. They labor together in every area of the building. They haul away trash, they file papers, they sweep the carpets and wash the floors. All of the surfaces are cleaned and wiped down. They restock the supplies. They replace the missing essentials. They clean up the residue and detritus from the workday. And then they fix everything that was damaged, restoring the building to its full intended function, prepared and ready for the next workday. Got it? Well, now imagine that every night, just when that crew is ready to do its work, you lock the door and say, not tonight. I've got stuff to do. Don't interrupt me. That's how many people treat sleep. They don't realize that while they're awake, spending, striving, scrolling, pushing, and pressing, their bodies are accumulating a debt of debris. And sleep is the primary way that your Creator designed our biology to pay off that debt. Sleep is not a passive shutdown like you might think. It is an active time for repair, replacement, and restoration. Recovery from the days gone by and preparation for the requirements of the future. During sleep, your body cycles through deep non-REM sleep and REM sleep. The deep non-REM sleep is connected to physical repair and growth hormone release, things like that, while REM sleep is important for brain processing, emotional function, and memory consolidation. Your heart rate and blood pressure also decrease during non-REM sleep, giving the cardiovascular system a kind of nightly downshift. For more details in this area, listen to the previous Aslan Health Podcast series on heart rate variability. All this means that sleep is not wasted time. It is workshop time, repair time, restocking time, reordering time, and calibration time. Your body is doing things while you sleep that you cannot willpower your way into while you're awake. Studies agree that most adults need 7 or more hours of sleep each night for maximum health. The negative health consequences are undeniable. Studies reveal that consistently sleeping less than 7 hours a night is associated with weight gain, diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, stroke, depression, impaired immune function, increased pain, reduced performance, greater risk of accidents, and an increase in premature death from all causes. Yet, 1/3 of U.S. adults still do not get enough sleep each night. Now stop on that for a moment, because some of you may be thinking, I get it, sleep matters, but I'm functioning okay. And maybe you are, sort of. But functioning is not the same thing as flourishing. Your cell phone can function on 7% battery for a short time, but it's not optimal. Your car can still move with a flat tire, but it's not great. You can still go to work, answer emails, attend church, drive the kids to practice, smile through dinner, all while your physiology is borrowing from tomorrow to pay for today. That's one of the great deceptions of chronic sleep debt. It rarely announces itself with drama at first. It just quietly lowers the capacity ceiling on your life, handcuffing your function and your future. You become more irritable, you call it stress. You become more forgetful, you call it aging. You become more anxious, and you call it personality traits. You crave more sugar and caffeine to push through, and you call that a busy season. Your blood pressure creeps up, your waistline expands, your patience shrinks, your motivation fades, your pain gets louder, and your joy becomes harder to access. And with that, you adapt to a lower, lesser, languishing version of yourself. Friend, these are facts. Sleep deficiency affects decision-making, learning, problem-solving, emotional control, and coping. It is linked to depression, risk-taking behavior, and chronic disease, including hypertension, diabetes, stroke, obesity, kidney disease, and heart disease. That means poor sleep is not just about being tired. It also changes how you think, how you feel, how you respond, how you relate, how you recover, and how you function. It changes your life. Quality sleep is absolutely essential for your good health and well-being. It's important to understand that it's not only how long you sleep, but also when you sleep that matters. One of the more recent important shifts in sleep science is the growing recognition that sleep regularity matters enormously. In large device-based cohort studies, irregular sleep patterns predicted higher mortality risk and higher cardiovascular risk, even beyond sleep duration alone. That's a big deal, and why I discussed that in detail during the Aslan Health Podcast series on circadian rhythm. For this reason, the perspective, I'll just catch up on sleep over the weekend, is not a good long-term strategy. It also means that alternating different bedtimes and wake times is not a harmless choice. Your body thrives on rhythm, not random, unpredictable chaos. And that, my friend, should not surprise the Christian listener, because God is a God of order. His entire creation is carefully crafted and connected. We are designed for natural rhythms in rest, recovery, and relationship. Psalm 127:2 says, "It is in vain that you rise up early and go late to rest, eating the bread of anxious toil, for he gives to his beloved sleep." Now that verse is so tender and so true. He gives to his beloved sleep, not exhausted collapse or drug-induced sedation, but natural sleep. A merciful necessity, a purposeful pause, a gift of grace, a nightly reminder that you are not God and you are not sovereign. You do not hold the universe together. Earth is not sustained by your striving. The world continues to spin while you are unconscious and asleep. This truth is universally humbling if we allow it to be so. Consider that sleep is an absolute necessity for every human being over all of time, regardless of position, power, or place. But for many people, sleep does not feel like a gift. It feels like a battlefield. You lie down and your body's tired, but your mind is still awake. Your body may be in bed, but your nervous system is still at work. Friend, I did not make this series to scold the struggling, sleepless sufferer, but to remind us all of the importance of agreeing with God's design for our best well-being. To do that, let's reveal a few of the common lies that we each may believe about sleep. Lie number 1, I need less sleep than other people. Now, statistically and scientifically, fewer than 5% of all people function well on less than 7 hours of sleep per night. So it's probably not you. Lie number 2, I can make up for it later. Now, some recovery is possible, yes, but chronic sleep debt is not fully erased by a single long Saturday morning sleep-in. Your body functions best when sleep is consistent with beneficial effects across all systems. Lie number 3, a nightcap helps me to sleep. Alcohol tends to fragment sleep, increasing nighttime awakening, decreasing REM sleep, reducing overall sleep duration, and worsening breathing during sleep, which can also increase the risk of sleep apnea. Lie number 4, I'm just bad at sleeping. Well, maybe, but more often the issue is poor sleep hygiene, which we'll address in the next episode, Sleep Reset. I find that many people are actually under-rested, overstimulated, poorly timed, anxious, inflamed, or dealing with a sleep disorder that deserves attention. Lie number 5, being exhausted is my new normal. Well, exhaustion is common, yes, but normal? No. Exhaustion is a byproduct of a culture that runs on caffeine, overstimulation, selfish ambition, and chronic activation. But it is not normal, it is not healthy, and it is not God's design. How can I be sure? Well, just take a look at Mark chapter 4. Jesus has been teaching all day, and verse 35 tells us that it's evening when they all get into the boat and cross the Sea of Galilee. Mark reports that Jesus is asleep in the stern of the boat on a cushion when a storm rises around them. The disciples are panicking, the waves are crashing, the wind is fierce, and Jesus, fully God and fully man, is asleep. This is not because he's lazy or he doesn't care or he's distracted. It's because he needed sleep. Mark then completes the story in chapter 4, verse 39, when he says, And he awoke and rebuked the wind and said to the sea, Peace, be still. And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. I love that story because it reminds us that sleep and peace are not enemies. Rest is not irresponsibility. Sleep is an expression of trust in the one who loves us and made us for himself. Of course, not all insomnia means lack of trust. Please hear me clearly. Sleep struggles are real, multifactorial, and often physical. But at a spiritual level, restful sleep invites us to surrender to our Creator and to His sovereign will. It invites us to say, Lord, I have done what I can for today. I trust you, and I release what I cannot carry through the night. I trust you to keep watch while I rest. Psalm 4:8 says, In peace I will both lie down and sleep, for you alone, O Lord, make me dwell in safety. That's not a command to manufacture peace. It is an invitation to receive it. So here's your reveal practice for this week. Download the document in today's notes to help you. Just notice and note this week. How much do you sleep? What time do you go to bed? What is your wake time? How do you feel in the morning? How much caffeine do you need to make it through the day? Are your evenings full of peace or chaos and stimulation? Notice if your body is tired but your brain is wired. Notice if you wake unrefreshed. Gain an awareness before you seek to make a change, because the first step towards healing often begins with an accurate observation. And as we close today, I want to encourage those of you who feel depleted, drained, and downcast. My friend, if you are tired all the time, waking unrefreshed, living on caffeine, or dragging yourself through the day, that's not a verdict on your worth or a sign of your aging. It's a signal. Your body may be asking for mercy. Your nervous system may be asking for rhythm. Your mind may be asking for wise boundaries. And your soul may be asking you to trust God, even in the dark. You are not lazy because you need sleep. You are simply human. In our next episode, we will reset our sleep. We'll get practical about what to stop, what to start, and how to build sleep hygiene tools that are useful and effective. Until then, invite the Lord to search your life. Ask Him to show you where your sleep has been neglected, feared, resisted, or disordered. This is Dr. Mike Hauman with the Aslan Health Podcast. Until next time, may the Lord quiet what is noisy within you, steady your rhythms, and teach your body once again how to receive His gift of rest.